What is going on, everyone? It is Roaming Dead here. We're going to do a different video today. We are going to be looking at the differences between Division 1 and Division 2. Just a few of each, because there's a lot different in the game, obviously, but we're going to look at a specific few from Division 1 versus Division 2. And hopefully you guys enjoy this. You guys really like the Ghost Recon Wildlands versus Breakpoint one, so I figured I would do one for Division as well. Guys, stay tuned for the channel for more great Division videos with the new expansion coming out. So let's get into it. First off is this is the base. So in Division 1, as you can see, you're kind of in like a subway slash, I think the upstairs is like a state building or something like that. But they've added a lot since the Division 1 has came out. Obviously, there's lots of expansions, so they have a little bit more. They survival. They have a premium vendor where you can buy special skins and stuff like that. So that's a little bit different. Obviously, that might be in Division 2 at some point, yet it hasn't. I mean, Division 1 came out, I think, in 2016. So it's 4 years ago now, so it's a little different, right? So they've had, I think, 4 or 5 major updates. 4 or 5 DLCs, I think, because there's Survival, there was the PvP, there was Underground, and there's one or two more. So yeah, so you got all your vendors kind of down here as well. So the base is a lot bigger, a lot more there, I think, than Division 2. You can buy blueprints and stuff like that, like everywhere else. Global events, which aren't going on right now. I'm guessing that's new because I haven't seen that since I've been on, but I haven't played it for a while. Obviously, your recalibration, everything like that. One difference is right now they have high value targets, so you can do weekly and daily high value targets. Division 2 doesn't have that. I'm sure they're going to be adding it in at some point, but for now they don't have that. Resistance, that's the newest one. But their gear score obviously is different too. I think it only goes up to 300, something like that. So right now I think we're up to 500 in Division 2. So obviously that's different, but at the same time, that's just the 2 different games, right? It's not like it's a huge difference. So we're gonna go up to the top of the base of operations, and just show you the different areas there. There's also world tier levels in. I think they're in both actually, but I'm world tier 5 in Division 1. So medical wing, you have to get all this stuff by doing all the missions, right? You have to we get it up to 100% capacity. You can get all this fabric. You get weapon parts for one of them. You get the scavenger is really cool too. So all your vendors are here. They don't have a rewards vendor, I don't think, in Division 2, but they have your stash that has your mail. So it's basically the same thing. It's just instead of making a dude, it was like a box. Hey there. So the security wing, you have your high value targets again, Division Dark Zone vendor, and this is the scavenger crate, which gives you a random piece of gear and or I think weapon every day. You can get it. So you also get weapons parts here. And then there's a specific clothing vendor. They kind of reduced a lot of that in Division 2. So there's not like 15 different vendors. There's only like 1 or 2 just to sell things. I don't think there's a clothing vendor in Division 2 from what I can remember. I don't remember seeing anything. So just showing you there's different wings. Obviously this is different. Like I said, Division 1 has been out for a lot longer than Division 2. But you also notice the weapons, they're a little bit different. A lot of them are first wave. Obviously, Division 1 came out months after the outbreak. So the first wave weapons are like the first wave of Division soldiers they sent in, which would be Aaron Keener and his team. So the first wave weapons are the first wave weapons are the ones you kind of want to look out for. They were some of the best ones what I remember in the game. As you can see, I got a cool backpack, camo on. Obviously, it's winter here, so I got a winter coat on. So we're gonna go upstairs. I'll just show you the rest of the base upstairs.
Good luck out there.
But yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot more to the base, but Division 2, the base is spread out a lot more. So it's not as big. Obviously, like I said, these are all things you have to unlock to help you with helping the people of New York, basically, you know. That's the other main difference, is one takes place in DC, one takes place in New York. But that's not a huge deal, just because obviously there's 2 different time frames.
Good luck out there.
So I'm just gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna show you the underground as well. That is one of the other newer DLCs after Division came out. I think it was one of the first major ones they added. So basically it just takes you to a whole other world, because obviously you're underground in the underground tunnels, which you don't see until now, as well as new missions, new weapons and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. It did add a lot. I think once they added survival though in Division 1, it really kind of played it a lot more. Survival was really cool. You could either do PvP mode or PvE. And either way, you had to do survival. You had to get a coat, you had to get warm, you had to get weapons, you had to get gear, you had to do all this, and then you had to go to the dark zone, finish it off by collecting loot and escaping in the dark zone. But you had hunter killers after you, so they're pretty much just Division agents like you that are trying their best to kill you. And for 2 people there was 1. 4 people, I think there was 2 in a group. And if 2 people use the helicopter at the same time, like 2 groups of 2, I think 3 or 4 came. It was brutal. Yeah, it was not fun. So as you can see, here's the underground. It's basically the same as it upstairs. You got your missions, and this is how you deploy through the train, all that kind of stuff. So it's very, very similar. It's just downstairs, basically. There's nothing insane about that. The other big thing, though, we're going to go look at is in Division 1 here are your gadgets. So you have a lot different ones in Division 1 versus Division 2. Division 1, you have your turret, but then you have a flame turret, a shock turret, and a sensor turret. Sorry, I had to think of what that one was called there. You also have seeker mines, you have airburst, gas charge, and cluster. So those are fairly similar to Division 1 2. You also have a sticky bomb, so you have your bleed damage one, your flashbang, and your disruptor with that as well. You also have ultimates in this one, which you can either use for giving health, revive, auto revive, I think it is, some other things as well. We'll get into that in a second. So you have support stations, but you don't have in Division 2, which give you health. Pulse, obviously you have that in Division 2 as well, a couple different ones. And you have your stem pack, which I don't believe you have in Division 2, but you get the med packs that rejuvenate your shield. So there's a little more healing aspect involved in Division 1. They kind of took that out of Division 2. Your ballistic shield, still you got that in Division 1, Division 2. As well as smart cover, which no one really uses. And then you have your mobile cover, which basically just puts up a thing to go underneath, hide behind, and you can duck and cover and use it. Obviously, you have all of this. You have all these different skills you can choose from. Your perks that you basically accumulate all of them by the end of the game, because you need all of them to survive. So then your gear score is a little different as well. Obviously, it's laid out differently. They have different weapon sets and armor sets. Everything's laid out a little bit differently than Division 2 was, but that's just kind of how they did it. So you can see my gear score, you can see my PvP rank, my underground rank, Dark Zone rank, and field proficiency. And then just my weapon stats and combat stats, all that kind of stuff here. Shows you where I'm kind of sitting. I haven't played this in a long time, so I have no idea if my gear is any good. Which probably isn't. Honestly, it's probably not good anymore. But yeah, there's all that there. And you can go and you get your, different sets. Your pouches have all your weapons, your ammo, your keys, your credits, all that kind of stuff. So, that's all there. Different types of currency, different access keys, your crafting materials, all that jazz. It's all in those. And then you have all of your accessory, all your clothing. You can change your pants, your hat, your shirt, you get skins for your backpack, stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much a lot of the same as Division 2. Not much new there. So we're gonna go outside and I'll just show you basically your map here has all your missions and stuff on it. The one thing that they don't have in Division 2 right now is incursions. So they have incursions in here, but they have strongholds. And so I think that's their kind of version of an incursion. They added incursions towards the end of the first season, I think, of Division 1. So I think there's 3 incursions. There's 5, I believe, strongholds in Division 2. So that's a little bit different as well. So, you kind of have that going for you. Division 1 also has a resistance area, which is the newer area you're supposed to be doing. It has the Dark Zone, obviously. It's in New York in the winter for 2, so that's that kind of thing there. But you can just see all the different, there's airdrops or supply drops, safe houses, obviously, like there was before, different encounters. I've done pretty well most of the main missions in this. There's just a few that I haven't really done. But they never really expanded the map like they did in Division 2. Obviously, some of the places you have to go are outside of the map parameters, like going to the Pentagon, Coney Island, stuff like that, which you don't have in Division 1. It's all in this part of New York. So we're just going to I'll show you kind of what New York looks like right now. Obviously, this is the first couple months or 6 months or something after the initial thing happened, the initial virus happened. So there's just everything's still set up as a quarantine, obviously, but there's not many. But you see people walking around all the time. There's lots of people kind of walking around, kind of still scavenging, hoping for the best, trying to ride this thing out that you don't really see in Division 2. It's mostly just, when you see bad guys, it's usually enemies. And yeah, so there you go. So there you go, guys. So there's the half of Division 1, or all of Division 1, pretty much what's that. We're going to take a look at Division 2 now, and I'll show you a little bit about what's different there.
We intercepted the distress call. Agent, you should listen to this.
So as you can see, we're getting in the base here. We've got all this very similar things to what was there. You got vendors. You can buy blueprints as well. There's that. That's still the same.
But they went dark just before you got to DC. Kelso assumed they defected.
Sorry, I'm just buying a few things right now.
If they achieve their mission, they should be carrying a mobile.
Just looking at all the different things there. There's blueprints, shooting range, obviously, like in Division 1. Set up differently, obviously, but you're kind of in a different world, different time. So as you go up the base, you have more. You have bounty vendors, and you have projects that you can do, things like that. So it's set up a little different. Obviously, it's in the White House, so it's a little bit differently. They only have a limited amount of space, but they have all of the grounds. You can see it's all set up to protect, quarantine you in, out, stuff like that. They did add clans in Division 2, which they don't have in Division 1. So I'm part of a clan. We are the Goonies. No one really plays anymore, so it's not a very active clan. But like as you see, I got top XP this week because I'm the only one playing. You know, they have top squads, most kills, dark hours, conflict, all that stuff. And they've obviously expanded it since the original, because this area here we're in now is since we've gotten this thing back from the Pentagon to help with the virus protection, or virus, stopping the virus, or curing the virus. So as you can see, if you go outside, there's still some more vendors out here. Same thing as what there is, but the one difference is your conflict is out here. So that is your PvP. So you can come, you can do, I haven't played any of it yet, but there's the vendor there. Also, if you go up to the helicopter, this is where you get all of your missions that take you off base, off campus basically, right? So you got your Manzi, your White Oak, your Pentagon, Coney Island. The raid is also in here, and the Kleine College expedition. I haven't done the raid. I will be doing that shortly, guys, so keep an eye out for that video as well. So we're going to take a look at the map. So it's obviously, I think it's twice the size of Division 1. Like I said, there's no incursions, but there's strongholds. And then there's the other parts of the map that are outside of the parameters you can helicopter to. You can see that the Black Tusk have taken over areas as well. And you can see there's the raid. The Dark Zone is also split up into different pieces. Instead of just being all one, it's different sections of the map, which is kind of cool. So you don't really have to, because a lot of Division 1, you kind of have to cross the Dark Zone to get from one side to the other to make it quicker. And you have to go through the Dark Zone, which is not always great. If you don't like a PvE mode, or PvP mode, sorry, you won't like the Dark Zone. And they set it up different. I didn't even look at the Dark Zones in this one, guys. They're very different because of like I said, they're split up. But the biggest difference between the two is there are settlements. So settlements, there are, I think 2 or 3 in Division 2, I can't remember. But basically there are just areas where people have taken shelter and set up a home and are protecting. So you can see they're growing crops, they got wind turbines, they got water stuff, they got healthcare, schools, all that kind of stuff. Basically, these are where people are living now to stop from being harassed by the roving gangs outside. And you have to help them throughout your mission, throughout the game. But that's the biggest difference, because you don't have that in Division 1, but also that's because of the time frame of Division 1, because it's just after. Everyone's still kind of hiding in shock, whereas Division 2 has been, I think, a few years since the original outbreak, so they're more used to this now, and this is how they're living their lives. They're not stopping their lives because of this. They're going on, they're moving on, they're doing things. They're trying to protect each other. Obviously, there's good and bad like you have anywhere, and the bad guys are outside trying to get in. And that's what you're trying to stop. It's trying to stop them from destroying these settlements, destroying these people's lives who have grown and created all this stuff for each other. So we're just going to go through it there, see that. So once we get outside, we'll take a look at our weapons and everything like that, and our gear. So you got Pulse, Turret, Hive, Chem Launcher, Firefly, Seeker Mine, Drone, and Shield. So the Firefly, the Drone, the Hive are all new. The Chem Launcher is pretty much like the Sticky Bomb. That's no different. The Hive shoots out little like fireflies that can either heal, they can kill, they can blow up. It's very handy for some people. The turret, very similar to what the other one is. And that one, instead of the zapper though, there's the sniper. The Hive is basically, I guess, like the box, like the med box. You can heal yourself with it. Same with the Chem Launcher, I believe. The shield is pretty well the same. The drone is really cool because it can heal you. It can revive, I believe. It will cover you, or it will auto fight people for you. That was really cool they added in. The Firefly I've never used, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone use, so I'm not totally sure on what it does. Secret Mines are also great. But yeah, so you have your same mods and everything like you do. Your resources the same. You get different credits, supplies, materials, all that stuff. And obviously here are my skills and all that kind of stuff as well. Like I said, set up a little differently. It's a little harder to read. You know, you got different types of clothes as well. Obviously it's summer, so you got more short sleeve shirts and stuff like that. You know, winter coats and hats and toques and stuff like that. Different armors, or gear set, or sets, stuff like that. So yeah, so we're gonna go back to the White House. So the other difference, crazy big difference, is they added special vocations, specialists. They added specialists. So there's, I think, 5 now that you can do. There's firewall, gunner, technician, demolitionist, survivalist, and sharpshooter. So I'm working on gunner right now. I also did survivalist. And it just gives you different weapons. There's a sniper, a crossbow, a minigun. I don't know what the other ones are. I haven't got to them yet. I will at some point. I'm just getting back into the game myself. But yeah, so they've added that to give you a little bit more of a boost. Obviously, it's special ammo as well. So it's not like the same ammo as everything else. But also they added a little more emotes, cool too. That's about it though. So there's lots of differences between Division 1 and Division 2. They're both great games, guys. If you want to check either of them out, by all means go, because they are really, really great. I enjoy both of them. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I hope this gets as much support as the other Ghost Recon video did. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Peace.